The beating of a man Sunday evening by a group of young men outside a local shopping center is raising disturbing questions about whether the victim was targeted because he's homeless.
It happened on the 31st, which was last Sunday, between 5 and 6 p.m. Apparently this gentleman, 41 years of age, was coming from around behind a commercial building in a shopping area. And he was confronted by four males that he believed were definitely under the age of 25, could have been youth, could have been young adults. And it was, according to the victim, an unprovoked assault. They immediately encountered him, pushed him to the ground, and began to kick him repeatedly, and took turns in doing so. Once the beating had finished, the man was able to collect himself, and he limped over to a bus station or a bus stop. The man was located by police at a homeless shelter a little bit later, and he was taken to the hospital. He was treated for soft tissue injuries, contusions, bruises, also broken nose, and at the time suspected broken ribs.
The homeless say it's rough out there and they must always be vigilant. Paul, a Kelowna Drop-In Center client, was not surprised to hear of the attack.
Basically, it's dog eat dog, and everybody has to fend for themselves. Sometimes you have people around you who say that they'll help you in a time of violence or try to back you up, and when it comes right down to it, they won't do nothing to help you, man. So you kind of got to fend for yourself.
Selena Stearns from the center says the assault seemed unprovoked and especially vicious.
This is a different circumstance. From what I understand, this was in a very public area, and people that were not associated with these individuals that were doing the attack just stood back and watched, and I don't understand why people would do that. You've got four people against somebody who was defenseless and probably didn't have any more strength than even one of them, or even less than that. We haven't heard of anything quite this severe in the last little bit. I mean, we've had attacks over the years. There was a couple that had the paint thrown on them a few years ago. That was pretty horrifying for them.
Police at present have no suspects in the attack and say further investigation is needed to determine a motive.
Until we get other information, if we can get more information, we can't say whether or not this was a random act or whether this man was specifically targeted because he was homeless.